homesteaders, gardeners, and cooks. My name is Jennifer. Welcome to Miles Away Farm, or welcome back. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm out on my back porch that has a tin roof, and it is raining. So we are definitely into our November weather. We've gotten quite a bit of rain recently, and we tend to be fairly gray and overcast from November to about the end of February. Give or take, there's some sunny days in there, but we get a lot of overcast and rainy days this time of year and fog. And so this is not only the perfect treat for the holidays, but it's just a perfect fall treat for this kind of weather as well. And that is homemade Irish cream. And there are a ton of different recipes for this online. When I found this recipe, I don't even remember how long ago it was, but probably well over 10 years. It was originally by Ashley English. And Ashley English used to write for a blog called, I'll put the name up on the screen. Her particular byline was Small Matters. And the reason I probably zeroed in on it is because I've loved Ashley English's homesteading books. She has 3 or 4 different books that are about canning and raising chickens. This is way before the homesteading thing became a thing. 2010 is when I first started checking her books out at the library. I love her writing style, and I love the accessibility that she makes these subjects in her books. They are probably out of print at this point, but you could still find them. The blog that this was originally on is no longer around, but I did eventually find a reference to it and was able to look her up and find her on Instagram. So she's still around doing homesteady things, which is really fun. But this is a super simple recipe. It calls for strong coffee, a can of sweetened condensed milk, a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of honey, a little bit of almond extract and vanilla extract. And there's definitely ways that you can tweak this. You can compare it to other recipes online and see if it makes sense to you. We love this. It's not super thick, and that's totally fine with us. We add quite a bit of whiskey to it, and then it gets put in a little bit of coffee, or it just gets sipped in a small container in the evenings. But really a lovely recipe for this time of year and perfect for the holidays. This recipe does need to be refrigerated, so if you decide to make this for friends, be sure that you make sure they refrigerate it and that it doesn't have a super long lifespan because of the dairy that's in it. But homemade Irish cream. Let's get started. So as you saw, I used instant espresso for this instead of regular brewed coffee. And if I had thought about it, what I would have done is just added that instant espresso directly to this mixture instead of trying to cook it down later. So you put everything in the pot and then reduce it down to thicken it up. The original directions have you add the sweetened condensed milk after you cook everything down. I wasn't paying close attention and added it all together. Not a big deal. It works out just fine. But like I said, if I had been smart, I would have just left out that actual cup of liquid coffee and just added instant coffee to this mix, and it would have saved me a lot of cooking downtime. But bring that to a nice slow simmer, and this is dairy, and so you got to keep a fairly close eye on it. And then once that's reduced a little bit, you're going to add a half a teaspoon each of vanilla and almond. And I'm doing this at the end rather than the beginning of that cook down, because otherwise all of that lovely flavor is just going to flash off with the heat. So once that's cooled a little bit, pour it into a container of your choice. A little bit tricky here, trying to get it out of the pan without spilling it down the side. I did a pretty good job. And then to this, we're going to add up to 2 cups of whiskey. And because this is an Irish cream, we chose to use an Irish whiskey. We used Jameson's whiskey in this. Didn't quite all fit in here, so we got most of it in here. I gave this a stir, dished up a couple of glasses for us to enjoy, and then added the rest of the whiskey in once there was a little bit more room in the jar. And I'm using a long knife because I don't have a lot of long skinny spoons that fit into here. And so here is what it looks like when it's finished. You can see it's not super thick, but really lovely and delicious. So if this kind of thing is in your wheelhouse this time of year, give this recipe a try, Tribe. Thanks for watching, Tribe. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment, and share. I have new content coming out every week.